just wait for it to do the whole live bit.
I need to buy a cloak.
That will have been on stream.
Buy a cloak.
Buy a cloak today.
Okay, and
Sponsored by Cloaks Arrows.
We are live. All right. Hello.
Sponsored by Wormwood Gaming.
We're not sponsored by Wormwood Gaming. I wish we were.
Not yet.
So hello. This is weird. I'm in the DM seat instead of the victim seat. I don't... Anyway, welcome to Bike Club. Oh no, Stu's choking to death.
I'm fine.
That's a good start. I claimed a victim already. Anyway, so for those not in the know, this will be a running of Curse of Strahd, which is a D&D 5th edition adventure. But it will be highly customized because I'm a Ravenloft nerd. So, before we start, just introduce the players. We got Stu, Talaviz, DM, and General Monster for making us cry. We have Maritza, who is a comics badass and a really cool person. Down below we have Lydia, who is super rad and a tiny, tiny stealthy elf lady in Talavir. And we have Jamie, of the hair and the helmness, also in Talavir. I'm good at this. And of course, it's me, Susie. I'm here like every day. You all sick of me by now. I'm the DM. I'm going to be torturing these guys. Yay! So, oh my god, and yes, just before we start, I want to say a huge, huge thank you to everyone who has hit the subscribe button so far. I love absolutely all of you. Thank you all so much. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Anyway, shall we begin?
We must.
Are we all sitting comfortably? Okay. So, our story begins, as all good stories do, in a tavern. You are somewhere around Baldur's Gate. This town doesn't really have a name, official name. It's known as Wayhaven by travellers. It's just a small port on the road, somewhere to shore up for the night. Yeah. So, you begin the tale seated around the tavern. It's pretty full tonight. It's pretty busy. So you're all seated around the same table, whether you want to or not. There's not much space available. And as we pan into the tavern to see you all seated around the table, I'll just go around you guys one by one so you can describe what you look like. So Stu, if you want to take the lead.
Sure. I'm playing Davalan, the High Elven Paladin, and he's rather tall. He's 6'4", and is dressed in studded leather armor, which is hidden underneath a half cape on the left-hand side of his body, which is a bright morning blue with the symbol of Lathander on the bottom. Carrying a rapier. I have long, feathered blonde hair. I look like a 70s sitcom wife. And I'm the most elvish elf to ever elf. I'm a paladin of Lathander as well, in case you didn't guess by the sun on the half cloak.
Alright, okay, and as we pan away from Davalan...
It's me?
Yep.
I'm a very rather large half-orc, dressed in very intense fashion. The thigh-high boots with loads of useless buckles and flaps and folds that look like they take hundreds of hours to make. The flat-fronted pants with useless chains and bolts. A rather large padded cloak with multiple pointless collars and multiple pointless hems all over it. It's all black, but with the interior is sort of a lime yellow that sets off my orcish skin, and I have an asymmetrical haircut and a rather aggravated snarl on my face.
Alright, and we pan away from Chandra.
Susie, you're muted.
Good job, me. And then we pan away from Chandra to Rahal.
Well, I'm a human, just a human. Medium height, medium size, very dark brownish hair. Obviously, looking like I'm from the wilderness somehow. Just scanning the tavern, looking at the people. I'm a druid, in case I didn't say that. So you will also see lots of furs and leather band braided in the hair. Not much adorning, decorating stuff apart from that.
Alright. The last member of our motley crew.
Well, that'll be me. Another half-orc, however, not so fancily dressed. More like the druid in attire. Just the furs would have to stretch a little bit more. Because, jacked half-orc requires more furs. He might look a bit grumpy, bless him. It's because he is. Not all the time, but it's crowded in here and he doesn't like it when it's crowded. But yeah, he's a barbarian, so he's keeping an eye on making sure his axe doesn't fall off the table, making sure that it doesn't spill any of his pint. That's really what's occupying his time right now. He's also called Kerchak, by the way.
God damn it, Jamie. Okay, so we have two very, very fancy individuals and two, low-key guys. Okay, so you've been sitting around this table for a little while, food and ale has been served, minding your own business, chatting idly amongst yourselves. By this point, you will have introduced yourselves to each other, I assume, unless you all hate people.
They don't give me reason to, no.
Alright, okay. So the evening is passing, seemingly without incident. There's a bard in the corner, or just some musician, just someone plucking away at a lute, belting out a few tunes, a couple of inebriated tavern goers singing and dancing and making asses of themselves. After a short while, the door flies open of the tavern, and you can see outside it's now dark, and it's raining, and it's horrible, and it's cold, and miserable. And as the door flies open, you see pretty much everyone in the tavern was like, what? And stood in the doorway is a gentleman wearing quite nice clothes, very brightly dressed. We're talking purples and blues and gold. He's wearing a large, wide-brimmed hat with a feather in it, and a cloak to protect him. As he steps inside, he shrugs off the rain. Oh, I hit my microphone. And you see him scan the tavern. You see him look across as if he's looking for someone. And then his eyes fall upon you at the table. He stands for a moment and then strides over. He takes a very low bow and presents you with a letter.
I just look at everyone else because no one writes me.
I just take the letter out of his hand.
What does he look like? Because I want to start making fun of his clothes.
So he's wearing very fancy, colourful clothes. There's purples and blues, rimmed with gold. He's wearing lots of chains and he's got really big hoop earrings. He has long black hair which is tied back into a ponytail, but you can't really see his face that much because of this huge hat he's wearing. He stands out so much in this tavern besides Davalin and Chandra. This guy's the fanciest guy in here. But as he presents you this letter, he still doesn't say anything. He takes a step back and watches.
It's usual when you present someone with a letter to say who it's from, really. I'm not a fan of junk mail, to be fair.
Oh, come on, dear. You can't expect someone dressed like that to know what they're doing. Or they've put every color in the rainbow together. It's such a mess.
I have to agree with you there. No understanding of light theory, is there?
I don't see any
we can't
red.
even see his face because it's every color is just so loud that there's no reason to even pay attention to him. What does the letter say, dear?
I open the letter.
All right. Okay. Just give me 1 second. This might not work, but if you check your journal, boop, you should have a thing.
Ooh. There's
Oh, holy
thing.
mother of handwriting.
Ooh.
Yeah, there's a copy paste version below.
Okay, good. Oh no.
Well, you've got the letter. You read it.
Yeah, you have the letter.
I just sort of read it over. Like, you can all read, right?
Yeah.
I just gave you a really dirty look.
Well, in that case, then I'll read it out for everyone in the class. Hail thee of might and valor. I, a lowly servant of Barovia, send honor to thee. We plead for thee so desperately needed assistance. The love of my life, Arena Kolyana, has been afflicted by an evil so deadly that even the good people of our village cannot protect her. She languishes from her wound, and I would have saved her from this menace. There is much wealth in this community. I offer that might be had to thee. So, thy fellows, if thou shalt but answer my desperate plea. My God, that is hard to read. Come quickly, for the time is at hand. All that I have shall be thine. Koilan, Indirovichs. I'm sorry, I don't speak that language. He's a burgomaster, though.
Well,
Yes.
dear, if your town dress is anything like you, it's no surprise she's languishing. She's probably dying of poor taste.
That's clearly the priority here, yeah.
I mean, I don't have any reason not to go to the town and show these plebes the way to dress properly.
Well, it is the duty-bound honor of all paladins of Lathander to help those in need, so I shall be going, regardless of the circumstances in which you choose.
There was
Does
a lot of
look like
fancy. There was a lot of fancy talking there. He didn't actually give you any information. You see.
Can't you see his clothes? The poor man is in desperate need of help.
Excuse me, good sir. For the purposes of my rather robust friend here, would there be any form of murdering involved in such a task?
Undoubtedly so.
There you go, Jack.
He bows again. He says, "It is done." Turns, goes to the barkeep, deposits a small purse of gold, leans over, whispers something to him, and leaves.
Well,
So we are a bunch of might and valor, is that?
well, I know I am. I suppose Kerchak has the might.
Not sure how
That's
useful your
useful.
valor's going to be, though, with only half a cape.
I'll have you know, sir, that this mantle is purely for accessorization.
So you're trying to tell me it's useless?
Well, yes, but
Okay.
so is your noggin. You don't see me complaining about that, do we?
It's not useless when it's hurling at you at umpteen mile an hour.
I will keep that in mind.
Chandra is laughing heartily. Does it look like Kolchak is gonna join us?
At the mention of murderizing and helping, the interest was piqued.
Okay. So I'm gonna try to convince Rahal to come with us. Okay.
Okay, that should be fun.
So I turn to Rahal. And say, "Well, darling, as uncomfortable as you look in those clothes in this city, I think on the way there we can get you fixed up in something very fine and very fun."
And even so, perhaps when you get there, there'll probably be some dirt there for you, maybe a tree or two.
Oh, I'm coming. I'm coming just to see you fall flat on your faces at one point.
Well,
No.
then.
You know what they say? Even the sun sets.
It rises too. Your point?
Exactly.
Also-
Whenever it sets, it rises once again. And just like that, I will rise again.
he says rise, Chandra stands up really tall, to with enough flourish to knock her chair behind her, and maybe slide and hit another patron, and then with like a gymnast finishing off an event, full on flourish. She says, "Well, it's decided then, and we're off."
As you throw your chair back and it hits another patron, a really big burly dude, shaved head, wearing basically the remnants of what maybe once had been a shirt, but the sleeves have been ripped off and it's all the way down to his navel. He turns around, he's like, "Oi, what was that about?" And then he turns around, he looks up, and he's like, "Never mind. Sorry about that. Have a good one." Yep.
It's my turn to giggle.
What an honourable gentleman.
I say, "Oh dear, look what happened to you, young man." And can I how much smaller is he than me?
You about, how tall are you? About 7 foot-ish?
Yeah.
I would say he's at least half a foot taller than you, smaller than you.
Okay. Let me grab him by the shoulder and draw him in close.
Mm.
And then I whip out my mending kit.
He's
and I go through.
Go on.
And he can talk while I'm trying to find scraps that match him.
He's like, "It's alright, it's alright. I did this on purpose for me guns, me muscles. For the ladies, they love it."
Oh, dear, we
just
can
leave
make
it.
you something much finer. And I'm holding up different swatches to him until I think I settle on a fishnet, and I fill in all the holes with fishnet, and then tie little strips of leather around his biceps for accents.
You can see that he's really uncomfortable by this, but as it starts to take form, he's kind of impressed. But his friends around the table are snickering at him big time, into their pints and stuff. They're like, "Hey, you really pulled there? Hey, got a lady?"
Okay, is there a table of ladies?
There's ladies all over the tavern. You got big buff adventuring ladies, you have serving ladies, you have just general peasants. There's all sorts in here.
Turn him towards a table of peasant ladies and slap him on the ass hard enough to make him jump forward a few steps towards them.
He's like, "Whoa, hey," and then he's like, "Ladies."
I lean over to Kerchik. I may have no idea what I may know nothing about fashion, but I don't think I'd want to.
You and me both.
I promise you, if they try and put buckles on you, I'll stop it. Deal?
I'll
Can we
stop it.
just cheers? Cheers.
Buckles are just really awkward when you're drunk.
Yeah. And for other purposes.
You look across, he seems to be doing all right. There's 1 or 2 ladies that are entertaining him. So is there anything else you want to discuss or do before you set out on your adventure?
Well, should we ask the guy where we need to go exactly, and is he still here?
He's gone. He left. He went straight out the door he came in.
I push my way to the barkeep and I go, "Is it what are they? Male, female?"
So you
presenting.
see you see a middle-aged woman. She looks like she's worked in a tavern all her life. She's cleaning her glass, and she's also taking an order and making sure the food's going out at the same time. But as you approach, she's like, yeah, love, what's up?"
Hello, my good lady. I was just wondering if I could inquire somewhat as to the status of the rather strange man in the foppish hat that was in here not 5 moments ago.
So you want to know what he said, right? Without the flowery...
No, I can deal with the flowery language. Flowery language is my modus operandi, as it were. However, what I can't deal with is the fact that he didn't give us much in the way of information.
One second. Hannah, wrong table. Over. Hannah. That one. Yeah, he didn't tell me anything. He just gave me gold for drinks for everyone. He said around on the house.
Everyone in this tavern. What a strange fellow. Do you happen to know where he lives?
Never seen him before in my life.
Never seen him before. This is looking fishier and fishier. Well, you know what they say. Where there's fish, there's evil.
Yeah, I'm sure they do. Either
You'll be
way,
having a good evening now.
There's two ways he could have gone. We're on a main road. That way or that way.
Which direction's Baldur's Gate? Sorry, I've had a little too much wine tonight.
Baldur's Gate will be north from here, I think. Is it north?
Right, in that case then, we're probably not gone towards Baldur's Gate.
Yeah, I think it's
To the south we go.
Alright, well, do you want another beer? Bit of food?
No, I don't drink beer.
Alright.
Slovenly human drink, you know? You need a rather refined palate to drink anything better than it. Anyway. It's been good speaking to you, yes.
Have a good night then, I guess. No, Hannah!
Right.
Hannah, that table! For the... Excuse me a minute, I'm just gonna go kill my barmaid.
Please don't do that. That would be an offense against the forces of good
pops
and
back for a second
justice.
'cause I didn't mean it literally, just...
Right. Goodbye.
And then she just wanders off.
Person.
Did you find out anything useful?
Not really, but there's only two ways we can go, and one way leads back to Baldur's Gate, and I've really had enough of that festering place. So, to the south it is, I guess.
City folk, only knowing which way to go if there's a road going there.
Mm-hmm. You know there's other directions, right?
Well, yes, there is the east, in which the sun rises every morning to greet us with the glorious dawn, and then there is the west, where it sadly says goodnight to us, but only to rise again for the next dawn.
Yeah, there's also up, down, left, right, and the left and right are different if you're facing somewhere else.
That's exactly right, Kershak Mai. Perhaps you'll be a scholar after all.
I'm gonna go up and talk to the other bards.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm gonna ask him. If they've traveled this area very much.
All right, so you approach the little stage area, and there's a trio. You've got a young lad on like a little set of drums, just little hand drums. You have an older woman who is strumming a lute. And then another gentleman that, in between singing, also plays the flute. As you approach, they're winding up towards the end of a song, and the gentleman on the flute does a really elaborate trill to end, and you can tell by like the reaction of his friends on stage that he does this all the time, and it never really impresses anyone, and they're a bit sick of it because showmanship. And As he finishes, he goes, "Yes."
Hello, dear. Do you travel this area much?
We go between the taverns up and down this road, in Baldur's Gate and here.
Wonderful, dearie. What is the tackiest, wealthiest town in this area?
Oh, well, that'd be Baldur's Gate. That's where all the adventurers go.
Well, we were looking for a young man in a rainbow coat who came through here. We'd like to know which town he came from.
You see, I see all sorts with the adventurers going up and down. I'm just gonna roll a thing for this guy. Oh, shit. Oh, dear. Okay. He says to you, he goes, that was the gentleman with the wonderful hat, right?
Yes, dear.
No one could miss his entrance. I wish I had skills like that. Wow, stopped us all dead. Yes, I've seen people like that before. They're travelers, though. They don't tend to stay in towns. I don't know what they're called, but I've seen them. They're always wearing lots of purple for some reason. They're from all over, I'm sorry.
Do you know, should we head north or south on the road to find them?
They're probably not in Baldur's Gate, no.
Well, we'll be off then, dearie. Good luck with your flourishes. Don't forget to practice.
You too, dear. And he starts again. You can just see other people on stage are like, you're a fucking asshole. Like, you can tell in this group dynamic, it's kind of like, you know when bands are together, but like one half of the band hates the other, but they still stick together for the performance. You can tell they've got that energy about them on stage.
I will actually leave the tavern. So I'll be right back. Could take a second. Outside, do I see any? He left outside, I'm assuming, the same door he came in.
Yeah.
He got
There's
back
like
out again.
one main door, yeah.
Can I see any animals in the area? Can I see a bird perched above? Or
Yeah, there's
dog?
plenty of birds. There's some horses that have been stabled nearby.
The horses.
In a field, there's some sheep.
I think I'm going with the horses. And I will cast Speak with Animals.
Ooh, okay.
Can I do it as a ritual? So it would be, I think.
Yeah, if you want, you can just sit down and spend 10 minutes with the horses.
Yeah, basically, yeah. Petting the horses for 10 minutes. And I want to ask the horses, the animals in general, if they saw where the strangely dressed human went.
Yeah, okay, so, you spend your 10 minutes. It's raining, so, like, if you literally
really
sat
care.
down, your butt gets a bit wet. But you take your 10 minutes cast as a ritual, and the horses, they kind of, when you ask them, they kind of look at each other like, this is weird. But then one turns to you, and it's a beautiful dappled mare, and she turns to you, she says, yeah, we did see something come by. One of you two-leg types on another one of us stopped and then went south.
South, with a feather in his hair.
Is that what that is?
Was you?
It's a big thing.
Yeah. Big thing,
Horses
like the
can't do
birds
this,
have.
but yeah.
Yeah. Like the birds have, but on his head for some strange reason. Yeah, I know, humans.
Humans.
Did he go fast?
Yes. He was riding one of us.
Good. Thank you very much for your help.
You're welcome.
Can I give the horse a carrot? Would you like a carrot?
Yes, please. I love carrots. They're the best. Oh my god.
Thanks for your help. And I feed it one of my carrots.
As you feed the horse the carrot and you walk away, you hear the... Because you'll still have to speak with animals so active. You hear the horse say, "This is the best day ever!"
So I go back in, shake the furs, make sure it hits the paladin and the bard, and sit down and say, "Yep, he rode south on a horse, going quite fast."
I say, my God, what is that smell?
Oh, that's nature. You should try it one day.
South, you say?
Did.
Well, off we go then. It's only a little rain. What the hell I'm gonna do?
Fair enough.
You might rust.
I'm not wearing metal armor. Don't worry about it.
You might look like you're rusted.
Are you
I
sure
always
you
look
can?
like I'm rusted. I'm a sun elf.
Are you sure you can go out when your body, the sun, isn't there to,
I'm confident in the fact that the sun will rise again as it does each morning. Therefore, what is there to worry about? I am, of course, the beacon of light and darkness of the Morning Lord. Let's go.
I have a parasol, and I open it, and like glitter falls out.
God.
Oh my god, you're the most extra bard in existence. I adore this so much. Okay. Okay, so you head outside, and the rain has still not let up, but you do see that in the rain, a fog has started to appear, which is not unusual for the area. fogs are quite common. It's cold because it's dark. It is nighttime when you set out. So, are you heading on foot? Are you going to attempt to get a horse, or...?
Do we have horses?
You do not already have horses, no. You were arrived on foot, we'll say. Or you'd rented horses to arrive.
We no
this
longer
time.
have horses.
You no longer have horses.
Okay.
Haha, you no
Arrived
longer
on
have a horse.
It's all right. They're rather expensive. I probably couldn't afford to keep one. Quite a lot of maintenance. And when you are pursuing the light as I am, you don't have time for maintenance on a horse, you know.
Maintenance of that hair.
No, actually, it grows like this naturally. Blessing
Well,
of the god
I'm
of sunlight
fine.
and everything, you know.
to walk all night. Night is the time of my usual performance, so if we'd like to get going, I'm happy to go.
I'm good either way.
Yeah, sure.
Morning, afternoon, night. It's just
My
the time of day, really.
only sort of worry about going at night would be the possibility of getting attacked. Not that I don't think that we can defend ourselves, but more of like I'd rather that we did not in general. To be honest, we need to save our strength for whatever foes await us on the horizon, not some piddly wolves in the night.
I think of it as exercise.
You think of everything as exercise, Kerjack?
Yes. Talking to you is an exercise in my patience.
Of course. After all, who am I if not the sort to keep you fit and healthy?
Like water up a duck's back with you.
Of course.
Should keep a tally of who wins the conversations.
Nobody
I will
wins.
actually do
No
that.
one wins.
I will actually do that.
Least of all us. Okay, so you set off down the road then.
Mhm.
I do have hawks. I have night vision.
Yes.
Okay, so Rahal, you can't
I'm-
see.
And produce flame in the rain is probably not going to work, is it?
It's magic flame.
It's magic fire,
Can it?
yeah.
Okay, then produce flame.
You're just walking around with fire in your hand.
Mm.
Do. Alright, then, okay. So you follow the road for quite some time. Around you, it's typical like woodlands. It's muddy, flat roads. You see bits of fences sticking up. It's not very well looked after. You get the sense that this is more like a thoroughfare than it is like a really super built up area. Like there's the odd farm spied around here and there. The odd sheep wanders across the path in front of you. You know, because some shepherds are just shit at their jobs and don't look after their sheep on a nighttime. So you carry on walking down the road. You're walking for about an hour and a half. You've covered some distance. And everyone just roll a perception check for me.
Oh, am I good at these? No, I'm terrible at these.
12.
13.
Are we rolling on roll 20 or?
It's up to you. You can roll 20 or with real dice.
I lined the dice out, so I feel like it'd be rude not to.
I'm rolling the
I'm
dice.
glad
you
I
got
went
me,
with that.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
12 for me.
I got 10.
18.
Okay, so we've got 18, 10, 13, and what did you get, Lydia?
12.
12. Okay, so Kerchak, you are the first to hear this, but somewhere up ahead on the road in the distance, you hear the faint sounds of a violin.
A nudge. Well, anyone who's around me. Just like, everybody. It's like, shh. I hear music.
I whip out my dulcimer.
Is that always, or is that a more recent occurrence?
Recent occurrence.
You know, I once met an elf who could hear a heartbeat all the time. It's very strange.
Well, what's the melody,
that
darling?
relevant
Let's
now?
get going.
Oh,
So,
God,
Sounds
you're
like strings.
as
Oh,
Kerchak
as
calls your
in-
attention, you all now can, you know, you're all listening for it. So you hear amongst the birds chirping and whatnot, the rain, you hear the strings of a violin.
Sorry, for a second there, my good friend. I thought that you were talking about hearing them in your head, not actually hearing them. That's rather weird, isn't it?
I didn't hear it with my foot. Obviously, I heard it with my head.
Well, you got that one.
Yeah, he does.
I'm gonna start playing along with it.
Okay, the tune you hear is actually really sorrowful. It's really sad. Like a lonely violin crying out into the night. So do you make your way towards the sound?
Of course.
Alright. As you get closer, you see a horse tied to a fence post. And then just beyond the horse, you see the same gentleman you saw earlier the night. A violin tucked under his chin, and he's still playing.
Ah, my good sir. Tell me, Chandra, violins, you're a bard, aren't you? Violins aren't supposed to go out in the rain like that, are they?
Well, if he plays anything like he dresses, then they most certainly should.
Ooh, you really got him there, didn't you?
Zing.
God damn it.
This poor guy.
He's done nothing to you people. Ah. Okay, so he's still there, still playing. He's not acknowledged you or anything. He's got his head down and he's really, you see like he's super in the moment while he's playing.
Excuse me,
Oh,
sir. Sir.
Quite rude. Okay, I'm not.
Excuse me. Good sir, I understand you're playing right now, and it's a wonderful tune. Exactly the sort of thing that one should be playing when the sun isn't up. Sad time when the sun's not up, really, but why exactly are you doing it in the middle of a rainstorm, and why did you leave without saying anything? I'm beginning to wonder if your mental acuity needs some psychiatric care.
While he's clapping, I'd like to just grab his hands. Like, there's no need to continue. Stop.
My good man, you can let go now. I'll stop.
Okay, and as you talk to him and as this whole little performance that you and Kerchak are doing is happening, he's still not acknowledging you, and it's not until the final few notes ring out and he pauses that he puts down his violin and looks up at you. And without even like saying hello, he just turns to you and says, "Have you ever heard the legend of the Vistani violin?"
Have I? Have any of us?
You could roll a check. Roll a history check.
I'm gonna
Oh, yeah.
roll
Oh, I'm not good at these. Never mind.
17.
Yeah, I got 17 also.
Bet you I've heard of that legend. I rolled a natural 20.
How are you?
You, in your travels and being as dignified and as, you know, whatever the hell Davalan is.
As dignified.
We'll go with that. You've heard of you know, you've been in posh taverns and stuff. And, you've heard of Vistani. You've heard that they're a people. And you've heard that they are actually really good at playing violin. They're actually well known for their musical status. I don't know the word for that. Abilities, that's it.
You know, I do think I have heard the legend of that. Why do you ask? Is that one of those fancy violins?
He smiles. He chuckles to himself. He says, "The first violin, it is said, was created to lure a lover. A
Right, it's
young
not exact.
Vistana," and he just talks over you, "longs for the
Fine.
affections of a girl who
Suppose
spent
I had that coming, you know.
So deep was his desire," and he's looking at you right now like, "Dude, I'm fucking talking."
Sure. Yeah, it's, not much time for love as a paladin, and you know, it's
So
quite
deep was his desire that he sought the aid of dark powers to win her.
such a strange accent.
Hey,
isn't it?
I elbow jag the paladin.
At this point, he's turned to the whole group and he's making this like a performance rather than anything else. So he's gesturing, he's pacing, he's looking and accenting his movements. The powers consented to help him. In payment, they demanded the spirits of the boys' brothers and sisters. The powers bound them into the strings and the bow of the first violin, then gave the instrument to the boy so that he might serenade his sweetheart. When the boy played, the violin filled the air with his family's pain, as well as their remembered joys, and the girl was spellbound. Now, sadly for him, she loved the musician only when he played, and eventually the sound of his victims drove the young man mad. He killed himself, but the next Vistani to take up the violin found he could reproduce the sound with all its beauty, and so the violin was born. And so here I am, with my violin.
You know, sorry to talk. Am I allowed to talk now? Am I allowed to talk now?
Personally, I'd say no, but
Yeah, is there a vote?
Look, usually I'd be the first to say, "Oh, that sounds like, pish posh," but I've been to Waterdeep, so you know what it's like over there, don't you? You've probably been around that part. It's very strange. But so I believe you, and I do applaud your dramatics.
Right, thank you.
But what has this got to do with any of the contracted work you've asked us for and such? I do have more important things to get to if you're just going to tell us a story.
You asked why I was here in the rain playing my violin, and I told you.
Well, yes, I suppose I had that coming, didn't I?
For a paladin, you don't have much flair for a story. Don't you understand? He's telling us that his dear master is dying of violin.
I'm sorry, I'm not very good at love stories, you see. No time for it in a paladin's life. My one love is to the morning. Every time I say this, I look east.
You know there's a song in there somewhere.
Yes, there is.
Please don't.
Oh, morning lord, thou art so wonderful, so beautiful in the dawning of the day. Such a great thing. Remember that song like it was just yesterday. It was just yesterday.
So you are one of the Vistani.
I am. I was a Vistana, yes.
Past tense. I wasn't aware that was the sort of thing you could give up.
There are many things you do not know, Paladin.
Yes, that's very true.
Please just leave it at
Hey,
that.
that was an insult, wasn't it?
it could be.
Can I start trying to play the song that he was playing?
Yeah, sure. Roll a performance check.
Okay. Whoops. 15.
15. You actually are doing a pretty decent job, and you've caught his attention as you're attempting to, as you're trying to pick up what he was doing, and every now and then he'll correct you. You'll go, no, it was a C. C sharp.
Okay.
And then, he'll... So now you know the tale of the Vistani.
Is Irina the woman you need to be healed? Is she suffering from a similar...
Oh, no, it's not me. No. I delivered that letter on orders from my master. I am a simple messenger.
We do need a bit more information, though. We don't know where you need us to go. I've never heard of this place.
I'm just quickly scanning the letter now, because hang on. Barovia is a land terrorized by all sorts of creatures. You may do some good there. The paladin may not survive.
I'm going. Sorry, what?
I like your humor. You will do well in Barovia.
I'm sorry, what?
Nothing.
I just
Nothing.
caught that.
That's a tally for me.
Excuse me? Sorry. I'm not aware. May not survive.
Well,
Do you not know who I am?
the sun has never shone in Barovia.
Well, it's time to change that, isn't it?
Many, many, many foolish young men and women, such as yourselves, have attempted such a thing. It's not possible, my friend.
I step 2 right up to his face.
Hello?
This is not. What happened there? I'm not like most other
Women.
men and women, or those of another gender. There's not just 2 of them, you know. It's rather insulting to say such a thing. But the dawn will come. It always does. Written in words or blood, it comes.
As does the night, my friend.
And the night is purely an intermission in the play before dawn.
Or is it the other way around?
Darkness always falls.
And
But
the
still,
sun always rises.
We are getting bogged down in semantics. We will not be getting anywhere here. With regards to finding Barovia, don't worry, Barovia will find you. Keep going down the road. Keep going as you are, and you will find yourselves there.
Oh.
I wish you luck. Truly, I do.
So just
Right.
that way. Then
Down the road.
I'm gonna keep practicing the song he was playing.
Just roll another round of perception checks for me, please.
Ooh. 13.
Let's go.
15.
16? 16?
Okay, Davalan, you... Actually, no, yeah, you'll hear this.
20. I had just sorry.
Oh,
no,
dang. Okay, so Davalan and Rahal, you hear this. As he is saying, you know, just follow the road. You know, I wish you luck. You
Follow the yellow
hear
road.
in the distance what appears to be the sound of hoofbeats and dogs. But it's not coming from the road. It's coming from the woods behind this figure.
Does anyone else hear that?
Yeah.
As you say that, the gentleman spins around. He takes a moment to listen. And he looks back to you, and then there's a flash for a second of, oh shit. And he then regains his composure very, very quickly. He says to you,
Do we notice that, by the way?
yeah, oh god, you notice that. There's
Okay.
just the whole time you've been talking to him, there's been like an air of like, I don't give a shittery and smiling, and you know, he's just been very performative. But for that 1 second, his mask drops, and it's very visible, like, fuck. He tells you, he says, you should run. Go now.
Puts a hand on his shoulder. Go where exactly?
Down the road. Go as fast as you can go.
That's
Why? What's coming over there? Do you have a personal acquaintance
I-
with them?
There's no
I start
road there.
Walking the road.
I know those dogs. I know those horses. You should go now.
There's no road. That's a forest area. There's no way someone can
And yet they come.
right through. Come.
Kerchak, do you think perhaps this gentleman needs a little more aggressive persuasion?
I just pull out the big axe and just hold it.
Roll
Tell
an
me, what are those-
intimidation check. You can use strength for this because you're using your might to intimidate him.
I'm proficient in it as well. So you're saying I can do it through my strength instead?
Yes,
Mm.
which is an
that makes
option
it-
you can do for barbarians and stuff. Because it doesn't
It's an
make
option you
sense
can do.
that a barbarian would be like,
Well, that
Well,
makes
charisma
it,
is presence.
17 then.
17. Okay. He looks at the axe as if you've put it to his throat. He's like, whoa. He's like, my friends, please, I'm trying to help you. If she catches you,
Oh, it's a lady.
Can I insight check him?
Yep.
11 plus. Where did it go? 17.
17. You can see that he is genuinely terrified, not for himself, for you guys. He's telling the truth.
I shout back to them because I'm, walking down the road.
Mhm.
I go, darlings, when somebody with nothing left to lose begs you to go, you leave. Know when to exit.
Oh, but the dogs and he's scared of stuff, which...
Would you rather exit pursued by bear?
You can hear the hoofbeats are getting closer. You hear the dogs, barking at each
You know,
other.
I've never actually seen a bear.
I go. I leave.
Yeah, I follow.
And he takes, he puts his hand on Davlan's shoulder. He goes, "You, don't be foolish, boy. She will take your head. Go." And then he kind of pushes you.
Excuse me, sir. You're coming with us.
No. I have a different path. Go.
Go. No. Sir.
Kerchak's gone.
Mm-hmm.
No, Kerchak. I'm not talking to Kerchak. I'm pointing at him.
Oh.
Sir, you're coming with us.
No, I am not.
Are all of your people as stubborn as you are?
And at that, he has pushed you away from him just a little bit, not like a huge amount. He wraps his arms around himself. He says, "Good luck." And in a flash of feathers, he is transformed into a raven and flies away.
Well, that's not an ill omen at all. Right, best get going then.
Okay, so the hoofbeats and the dogs are like really close now. As you look up into the woods, Davlan, you can see what appears to be moving figures coming towards you through the fog.
Start squint. Yes, let's go the other way. Start walking.
I think the rest of us have already gone the other way.
The paladin, nope.
Okay. So you are, I guess you're running, right?
Yeah.
No, I'm gingerly walking.
Oh my god. Davlan's not going to survive. Barovia's going to destroy him. Okay, so you are... Wow, this music's not right at all. This is too peaceful. Stop. Put this on now. So, as you are running or gingerly walking away, you hear the sounds of pursuit. It sounds like a hunt. There is a horn that is blown. There's shouts and jeers. The dogs are baying for blood. As you head down the road, the fog seems to get thicker and thicker to the point where when you bring your hand up in front of your face, you can't see it anymore. Okay, and as you progress deeper and deeper into this fog, away from the sounds of the baying hounds, it starts to clear again. And you start to make out each other in the fog. And the area around you doesn't quite look the same. For example, it was nighttime where you were. There appears to be some sort of sunlight now. And you were on a road. Now you're in the middle of woodland. It's still raining. And it's still, like, kind of foggy.
Can I do a perception check to see what I see?
You certainly can.
23?
Okay, you look around and the type of tree is very different from where you were. It seems to be much more like pine, but everything looks sickly. There are no like needles on this tree. It's just bare branches. The earth beneath you is not quite green. It's just off. You see what appears to be like a small path, more like not like a carved out path. It's just like, you know, one where people have walked before, so it's like bits of earth that is just trodden down, and it seems to be leading south.
Can I knock on the pine tree?
Yep. As you knock on the tree, it sounds like it's rotted. It's like a really gross, moist thud.
Okay. It's very disappointing. That would have made a beautiful instrument.
No, coming from the woods, can I make some form of nature check, perhaps, just to confirm that this is not the forest?
You sound like
Oh,
that.
I know. Or maybe not. 9.
I mean, it looks different. It doesn't look as healthy as the forest that you know.
Either something went very wrong within minutes, or we are somewhere very else.
You know, as a friend of mine from Icewind Dale would say, I do believe we've been bamboozled. We've been had. Wool has been pulled over our eyes.
Well,
I don't
he's
understand.
making-
Could you please use another synonym?
Well, yeah, what else did your friend say?
We're jimmied.
Ah,
She meant.
Buggered.
Yes,
I'm gonna
that's one
keep-
too.
Practicing that song on the dulcimer.
Okay. The woods, by the way, are deathly silent. There's no animal chatter. There's not even, like, a wind. It's just silent. And the silence just hangs, and it's oppressive, and it's just everywhere.
Oh, I've got another one. We're up Styx Creek without a paddle.
While he's saying this, can I just have a look around, see if there's any tracks around? What with the absence of animals, just seeing if there's anything.
Yep, roll a nature check.
Natural 20.
Oh shit. There's some tracks, but they don't look like they were by an animal. They look like they're by wounded people.
What?
There
Are they
appears
bloody?
to have been footsteps, but one foot is dragging.
Well, this is a good sign. Heading in any particular direction.
There's a couple, and they're going off in different directions.
I point them out. Well, this is a really good sign, guys.
do they
This
seem
is fun.
recent?
Do they?
With the 20, they're fairly recent.
We should follow them. Someone might need our help.
And actually, with your 20, as you're looking at the tracks, you look and you just give like a sniff just in case, because you're looking for,
Yeah.
like poop and shit, because tracks.
Yeah.
Poop and
You
shit.
poop and shit. You catch the scent of something horrible and acrid, something that you know very well. You catch the scent of death in the air.
This place smells great. And I mean that very little.
And you think, with your natural 20, that there is a source of this smell somewhere quite close by.
Can I try and sniff it out?
You certainly can. You activate your Witcher senses.
Yeah.
Like a dog. Like a hound.
Basically, so the rest of you now watch as
I
Kerchak's
just
going
that point.
sniffing around. Do you follow Kerchak?
I do.
I do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you follow the trail somewhat, and this foul stench, it leads you to to a human corpse, half buried in the underbrush, about 15 feet from this little road you found, this little path. As you get closer, it appears to be a young man, dressed in just like common clothes. His muddy clothes are torn and raked and ripped. Crows have been at the body. They've pecked out his eyes, his tongue. They've been pecking soft bits of flesh that's been exposed. The ground around him is surrounded by very similar prints to not prints. Tracks. That's that you saw in the woods. And as you get a bit closer, he's holding something in his hand.
I would like to try and see what that is.
Okay.
Oh, it's a young man. There's no need to feel down, Kerchak. Just pick yourself up the ground.
I'm gonna go over and I'm gonna start
I only just
mending
got that
his
now.
clothes.
His clothes at this point are pretty much beyond repair. You can see that as Kerchak's rolled him over to get this thing out of his hand, he's missing like 60% of his body. It's just been torn out of him.
So what we thought he was half buried, he's just half there.
Pretty much, yeah. Okay, so you roll him over to look what's in his hand. You can see what appears to be a crumpled piece of paper, a letter.
I would like to try and read said letter.
Okay, I'm gonna have to read this to you because I forgot to make a handout for this. So I've set
Story time.
Story time, children! Everyone sit around the fire. Okay, so you see, and it's smudged and it's blotted because of it's been wet and it's been in the hands of a boy that's been ravaged by something. But you can make out the text. It says, "Hail to thee of might and valor. I, the burgomaster of Barovia, send you honor with despair. My adopted daughter, the fair Irina Kolyana, has been these past nights bitten by a vampire. For over 400 years this creature has drained the lifeblood of my people. Now my dear Irina languishes and dies from an unholy wound caused by this vile beast. He has become too powerful to conquer. So I say to you, give us up for dead and encircle this land with the symbols of good. Let holy men call upon their power that the devil may be contained within the walls of weeping Barovia. Leave our sorrows to our graves and save the world from this evil fate of ours. There is much wealth trapped in this community. Return for your reward after we are all departed for a better life. Kolyan Indirovichs, Burgomaster."
That
Well.
read out to everyone, just make sure everyone hears the name
Now-
specifically.
Now we know what her infliction is.
Well, shit.
Actually,
I'm like-
Kerchak, because you saw the other letter as well, right? Because it was on the table. The handwriting is very different between the two letters.
Right.
I've like made the guy like a simple sort of like nice linen but very modest shirt, and I take off his torn up clothes and put that one on him and start
Before-
digging the hole.
You do that, can I try and see what type of creature has done this to him? If it was a
You
regular
certainly
animal, I
can.
know.
Nature check, I believe.
Because
Oh, no,
fucking
medicine.
vampire-
Medicine.
Medicine. 15.
15. It wasn't an animal. There are no
It was
teeth
an
marks.
animal.
There are no claw marks. And actually, as you get closer, is that a human bite? That looks like human teeth. No, it couldn't possibly be.
Oh.
Well, judging by that letter and this poor unfortunate soul, I do believe that we have stumbled on a great battle between good and evil, and we are to play center stage as the great protagonists of the forces of good. So what say you? You ready for an adventure?
Oh, God, do you ever shut up?
Not really, no. I've been known to sleep talk as well.
Oh, jeez. We sleep apart.
Is anyone gonna help me bury this kid, or am I
Yeah.
gonna do it myself?
I will,
No.
Yeah. definitely.
Okay.
Does
So
he
I'm
have
just like,
I'm helping too.
Any ring, any jewelry we could bring back to a family?
There's
Anything?
nothing on him. It looks like that this kid was trying to get a message out,
Yeah.
but sadly
Okay.
he just didn't make it.
I'm gonna play that sad song I
Okay.
learned.
It does take you quite a bit of time to dig the hole with which to bury him, because the ground is like really hard, like it's frozen. There's no snow, but the ground is unnaturally cold and hard.
Right. Hmm.
And as you are digging the hole and you're burying the boy, in the far, far, far distance, like very far distance, you hear a solitary wolf howl.
Well,
You
we
know-
know there's some animals then at least.
Today just seems to be a day of ominous things, doesn't it? Anyway, let's finish burying this poor soul.
Okay, so you take the time to bury the boy.
Yep.
Where would you like to head from here? There is that small, like, trodden path leading south that you saw.
Just say after just saying a few words of sort of repose to the grave before we head on, and then shall we?
We shall.
Okay, and we're going to take a quick break there. Just to, because I need a drink. So, we will be back in like 10 minutes. So we'll see you soon.
What ho? Welcome back.
You're not DMing. Shush.
Welcome back.
Not your turn.
You've been welcomed back by Davila, everyone's favourite.
Ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba. Hey.
Onwards to glory
Anyway,
and
so
justice.
before the break, I'll just do a quick recap. Before the break, our adventurers found themselves in a mystical land with a dead guy. So, what are you doing? What do you want to do from here?
Okay, so we've buried him,
Yep, you buried him.
and
We decided to follow
we're
the
just
path,
like,
right?
Yeah, there's a small trodden path that leads you through the woodland. Okay, so you following that?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
Indeed. Keeping his eyes peeled just in case.
And I kind of want to ready a produce flame because those markings on the body. Oh.
Yeah, you haven't told the party about the markings on the body.
I will after the funeral. Sort of. By the way, I think I saw a human teeth marks there. I think this is a strange place.
Mm-hmm.
Full of strange people and creatures.
Savages.
I'm sorry, what?
Savages.
Well, normally I think you didn't try and insult someone, but I mean there were teeth marks on a human body, so yeah.
Yeah, I don't. No, that was not meant against an insult against you two. I'm come from a city, not a noble house. I'm not an idiot.
It's bad enough, mate.
where we come from,
I'm still an
we
elf.
choose the scenery, not the people, is what he's trying to say.
Exactly. Yes, I have an appreciation for a good tree, not a bite in someone's neck.
Okay.
Uh,
Anyway.
Just I want to be prepared. I don't. It's just
And that
all
new
kinds
note.
of wrong.
The new note as well, that was some fun tidbits of information. Different handwriting though. So,
So we're just
two people
walking
signing the
along.
same letters.
I need to find this Irina person and see what this is about.
Yeah.
I mean, vampires.
I'm gonna roll another perception check.
All right.
14.
14. Okay. So as you're walking and talking, and Rahal is telling you about these mysterious wounds she saw in this poor unfortunate boy, Chandra, you're looking through the trees, and further down the path in front of you looks like a person. They're not moving, and they appear to be slightly hunched over.
What are they wearing?
It's hard to tell from this distance, but it looks like peasant clothing, just common clothes. They're about 60 feet in front of you.
Okay. And they're just kind of a gray outline.
Yeah, they're just kind of like a shape of a person. You can't make out the fine details.
Okay.
I haven't gone into full-on save the world mode. Would like to use my divine sense to see if that is an undead,
All right.
because I ain't having anything after seeing chew marks on a young lad.
Okay, so you take a moment to call upon your divine sense, and as you're focusing, everything seems to spin. You feel unsteady on your feet. There's an overwhelming sense of dread and evil and just bad stuff that floods you, but ahead of you, that's an undead.
Well, I'm already disliking this place already, but just so you know, that thing up there's undead. Please ask it a question, Kerchak.
I'm gonna, once he starts saying he's unhappy in this place, I'm just gonna start playing Chicken and the Corn in my dulcimer.
As you begin playing your dulcimer, the figure in front spins around. It moves pretty fast. That turn, that didn't seem natural. The head rotated just that fraction too far. And
I
it
will-
begins shambling towards you.
I will throw that fireball.
Okay.
That's
Roll
basically
initiative.
yeah.
Ah.
Time to make the
I know.
undead dead.
Dead.
The re-dead.
The redeadening.
9.
Why are they so... Oh, well.
La 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 la.
At least it's not Banana Tiger. Where's my pencil? Pencil, where are you? I'm prepared. Okay, so, 20? 25?
20, not natural.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, 15 to 20?
15.
19.
Ooh.
Sorry, sir, dexterity based.
Okay, and Chandra, what did you get for initiative?
9?
9.
Yes, sir, come on.
Unsurprisingly, quicker on the draw than a Zambo.
The Zambini.
A Zambini. Okay, so Rahal, you are up.
Yeah, I will throw that fireball. Well, it's a flame I produced.
Alright, so you have to make a ranged weapon, ranged spell attack.
Yeah, that is rolled 15.
You rolled 15.
Yeah,
That hits.
yeah. That's a d8. Ooh, max damage.
Dang. So
I don't add anything to that, right?
spellcasting mod? I can't remember. Nope, just the D8.
Damage,
no.
no. Just
No.
to damage,
So
unfortunately.
that's 8 then.
It's the trade-off you get for having unlimited cosmic power.
I should know that because I also play a druid. Monday's telling me.
I'm used to warlock, so that's why, just to make sure.
All right, so you produce the fire and you throw it towards this creature in front of you, and it hits. It singes the flesh, but it persists. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't cry out in pain. It just keeps trudging forward.
Ugh.
Davalan.
So I push my cape to the side, pull out the longbow from underneath it, draw an arrow into it, and just fire straight into the creature.
Nice.
Very dramatic, very fluid,
Of course. What else?
of course.
Of course.
And that is, that's a 23 to hit.
Yeah, I think that will just do it.
Are you sure?
Damage.
8.
8. Nice. Okay, again, the same story. You notch an arrow, you fire, it lodges in the creature, but there's no reaction from it. Nothing. No twitch of pain, no scream, no flinch. Okay, Kerchak.
How far away is it, did you say?
It's between when it was first spotted, I'd say about 50 feet from the group.
Well, I'd like to move my full 30 up to it.
Mm-hmm.
And bonus action rage, and then throw a javelin at it.
Nice.
So I kind of see what Mr. Godly Elfman did, and it was far too fancy for my taste, and that just pisses me off just a little bit too much. And that's the spark for this rage. And I just boom, go. It's gonna be 18 to hit.
Yep, that'll do it.
Cool.
Oh, you don't get the rage damage
It's a +2 for rage damage.
on a melee weapon attack.
Oh, is that just melee?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. Oh well, still.
Baby.
That's gonna be max damage, so that's gonna be 10 points from a d6.
Wrecking the shit out of this thing.
And a crit this time round. I feel good. Barbarians, where it's at.
Rah. Alright, Chandra.
I'm gonna look at. Give me 1 second.
It's okay.
Damn it, that
Very
wolf's back.
hyper right now. I'm gonna look it straight in the face, and I'm gonna use vicious Mockery?
Yes.
What does the... Oh my god. Sorry.
It looks like you're strangling the dog. That's just.
I'm not. Both hands are up here. Just...
It's gone silent now. We can't tell.
Come here. I'm gonna cast Vicious Mockery, and let me feed this dog, and I'll be right back.
Yeah, okay, no worries. I think Vicious Mockery is a saving throw, right? But Wisdom.
It's a wisdom saving throw,
Yeah.
Well, I'll
yes.
just roll that. I don't think it's...
Natural 20? Oh, natural 1.
Nope.
Never mind.
That's the good kind of crit for a DM to roll.
It's not. It's the bad one.
No,
We
the
don't want
good
that
kind
one.
of crit for a DM to roll is a 20 because that creates dramatic tension. The foundation of all good
I'm
dungeon
using
master.
my murder dice as well.
You dirty mice.
My dirty mice.
I'm using the dice given to me by one Mr. Jamie.
This one's dead to me because of Monday.
What did it do?
Rolled low like every time.
Oh, well, I mean, there is something else dead to somebody as of Monday.
Oh. Oh.
Now who's the savage?
All right, Chandra.
Savages. Savages.
It rolled a natural 1 for its saving throw, so go ahead and roll your damage.
2.
Okay. Right. You let forth a vicious mock. Like the worst mockery. That mock's not single? I don't know. You let forth a vicious barb of an insult at this creature. And, it's looking really rough, but it's still stood.
Sticks and stones may break my bones, but Jesus Christ, you're ugly.
You're not the bard.
Okay, so what it will do... It's just going to shamble forwards. Because you moved... Kerchak moved 30, so it can actually reach you, Kerchak. So it's going to come up to you, and it's going to... Oh, dang. It gets 3 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's going to attempt to
I mean,
bite you.
I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
9 to hit?
Nope.
Nope, no bite. Okay, claw. It whips around with its horrible, decayed, gross hands. And that's going to be a 22 to hit
Yep.
on the first one, and then the second hit will be 15.
Yep.
Okay, so those two hit. So the first one hits you for 6 damage. The
Raging.
second hits you for 3 slashing, so they would be reduced. So 3 and then 1,
Cool.
so 4 total.
Yeah.
And then
Sweet.
it's just gonna like because it's a zombie. And that brings us
Sorry,
back to
I
the
didn't
top.
quite catch that. Thank you.
Bring us back to the top of the round. Rahal.
I'm going to throw another flame at him.
Nice.
13 plus 6,
That'll do it.
I believe. Yeah. 19. And that's 3.
3. That's enough. As you conjure the flame in your hand, you take a moment, you aim. You've seen it swipe at Kerchak, and you spot an opening as it lunges forward with its claws. You launch it, it hits it straight in the head, into this socket where the eye once was of this creature, and it burrows into its head. And it lets forth like a sorrowful groan before it crumples to a heap on the ground.
I'm so glad we didn't actually have dinner.
What about dinners there? No, that's it. That's you wouldn't have even said that. That's just disgusting.
Is there? Can I do a perception check? Is there any chance there's more of these around?
You don't need to do a perception check. In your immediate area, nothing.
Hmm.
But with the sound of battle, things have started to stir in the woods. You're hearing shifting. You hear another howl of a wolf in the distance. And in the silence, you're not sure if you're imagining it, but you're almost certain you hear another moan.
I think we need to move presently and briskly. We need
Yeah.
to find some form of shelter. One of these is fine. 20 of these things, not fine.
Can we see like buildings anywhere?
Not in the immediate vicinity, no. The path is still ahead of you, though.
Are there any animals in the area?
Not that you can see now.
Well, for one, I'd like to get my javelin back, and while they're all discussing, still just like prod it because it hit me.
Should we make a dash for it along the path?
I think that would be the best idea. Kerchak, give me your hand.
I drop the rage at least before grabbing.
I just pumped 4 points of healing into you.
Oh.
Feel better, buddy.
I wanted to crush your hand, but fair enough. I'll save that for next time.
Actually, Kerchak, as you went to retrieve your javelin from the body, you find around this creature's neck what appears to be some sort of wooden disc.
Kind of like as a necklace.
Yeah, like on a. It was on like a rope.
Right. I'd take that. Show it to the group.
Take it and flip it over. You can see it was once painted. You don't know how old it is, but the paint on it is starting to wear off. But on the front of it, there's a carving of what appears to be a sun. And there's hints of yellow and a bit pink, but mostly faded.
Yeah, show it to the group.
As soon as you see it, I grab it. Well, this just got personal. Right, let's go.
Just because of the sun?
Pocket the amulet.
Maybe
He
he's just
really
fond
likes
of
the
jewelry.
sun. I mean, he really likes the sun. He's like mentioned it 5 times.
Fine, I will explain. That's the symbol of the Morning Lord. That's the symbol of my chosen deity, the greatest in all of the lands. That's of the morning, the Dawn Lords.
You sound very enthusiastic.
Well, it's just I've never encountered so many people who do not understand one of the most worshipped gods in all of Faerun.
Gods don't put food on my table.
Actually, you'll think you'll find they do, just not directly.
Well, I can't prove it. I'm the one who catches it and put it on the table.
Oh my god, an atheist in a world where gods actually
while
exist.
they're arguing, I'm
It's
gonna
just
start
pessimistic.
bolting down the path. I'm gonna grab a Hall's hand and like bolt down the path with her.
Ow. I'm being bard napped.
I'm being druid now. Oh, help.
I need to keep a tally. I need to see where this conversation ends.
Come along, Kerchak. We have better things to do than squabble about the nature of things beyond us.
Okay, so as Kerchak and Davalan hurry down the path after Chandra, after she just druid napped Rahal, you continue down the path for a little while, and you can hear that the forest now is a lot more alive than it were when you first arrived. But as you continue to make your way down the path, tall shapes, wow, Stu, you didn't mute.
Yes, Esther, you good girl.
You missed.
My apologies, everyone. I have hay fever.
It's all good, Stu, don't worry. Okay.
Moving swiftly on.
Moving on. Tall shapes begin to loom out of the fog that surrounds pretty much everything. The muddy ground beneath your feet gives way to slick wet cobblestones, and the tall shapes become recognizable as village dwellings. You see windows of each house staring out back at you, empty, lifeless. There's no sound. Except, carried on the wind, there's a mournful sobbing somewhere. And a dog!
Can we tell where the sobbing's coming from?
It's really hard to pinpoint from where you are. You're right on the edge of this settlement.
It's our best chance right now.
I think that going in is probably the best idea for us at this point. How big's the settlement-ish?
It appears to be the size of like a fairly decent village. It's not a city, it's not a town. There's a couple of dwellings that you can see right now, but you can see that it does continue on past the houses that you're currently at.
Right.
The houses that you can currently see seem quite dilapidated. There's roof tiles missing. There's some windows are boarded up. There's, cracked stonework. It looks very neglected.
If there's anyone that's inhabited any of these things, it'll be on the interior of the town. We should move inwards.
We should. And if there's any more of these around, well, get rid of them, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
So off we go.
All right, you're moving further into the town. Oh, village.
Yeah.
Settlement.
Hamlet.
Hamlet. No, it has a church, so it's not a hamlet. Okay, so as you move into town, you can see. What can they see? Lots of things. As you move further in, you can see that this settlement's a bit bigger than it appeared from the outside. There are definitely quite a lot of houses here. It's not a town by any means. It's a large village. There does appear to be smoke coming from one or two of the houses. And as you look over the top, because they're all like single story, like not big townhouses or anything. As you look, you can see that like towards what you think might be the middle of the village, there is a larger building, with multiple stories. Obviously there is like still fog and mist, so distance is not great. You can't see a huge amount, but you can kind of make that out from where you are right now. And the two-story building you can see does have smoke coming from the chimney.
Should we head towards the two-story building?
Yeah. Smoke's a good sign.
That is a good sign. In my experience, undead can't usually light fires.
I wonder if they can catch on fire though.
They
Probably.
can.
This is an experiment.
We just did that.
This is true.
I mean,
I wasn't really paying much attention beyond stabbing.
Esther.
good. So he probably didn't notice that there's a bit of singeing going on the side.
Well,
Nothing. Just it's a bit close. Bit close.
Okay.
to the smoke then.
Eyebrows are overrated, is all I'm saying.
As you make your way through the street, you can see behind what appears to be like in some of the houses, behind very heavy curtains or boarded up windows, you can see the flicker of like candlelight in some of them. And as you walk past like a house, you hear the creak of a floorboard of someone inside. But there's no one in the streets. These streets are deserted. There's no cats, there's no dogs, there's nothing.
I haven't spent much time in human settlements, but
Make a perception check, everyone.
13.
Okay.
10.
Yeah, 8.
15.
All right. It's actually Chandra that notices this, that a lot of the houses have what appears to be claw marks on them. Like a large animal was attempting to gain entry, like trying to knock a door down or try to get into a property. This is on quite a few of the houses.
Do I know what werewolves are?
I'm going to say you probably don't, but you can try and roll a history check just in case.
Okay. No.
That's a natural one.
That's the
let's
dice.
see. Well, someone with very long nails tried to get in these houses.
Does it remind me of the thing that we fought in the woods? Because that had a claw attack, you said. So does it match up, or is it?
No. These they don't look like they've been caused by human hands. Some of them might do, but a
Right.
lot of these were caused by what you can only assume is a large animal.
Okay.
How did we get here?
We walked.
Where did we get? That's just foreigner. Just no grammar.
I really don't know. But
Do we
I'd
see
like
a
to find
church or
someone who
anything?
finds out.
You
Yeah, the
can't
smoke-
see a church, but you are getting closer to the two-story building. As you get closer, you can see that this actually appears to be a tavern. There's a sign that is hanging outside. It's not a great sign. It's pretty knackered. It's like, it's hanging off one of the chains. One of the chains is let loose, so it's just swaying. As you get closer, the sign says that it is the Blood on the Vine Tavern.
What a waste of good grapes.
Are we going in?
Yeah, I'm going in.
Yeah.
Actually, who's look at Davilan? Roll a perception check.
The 18.
Okay, as you look at the sign and you dismissively whine about waste of
Wine.
grapes. Whine about wine. You can see that this tavern actually was originally called Blood of the Vine, and that someone had scratched an N over the F.
Oh, great. Bad taste and Philistines. In we go.
We
All
already
it's
went.
worth. No. I've been abandoned again.
Good God. Okay,
Stop.
so you enter the tavern, and it's kind of dull in here. There's just a few candles illuminating the room. But there is a fire in the hearth, and it is giving a tiny, tiny hint of warmth. You've been chilled to the bone the entire time you've been here, but now this is the first warmth you've felt since you arrived. And as you look around, it's still pretty dim, but you can see that there is a man at the bar. He appears to be cleaning glasses, and there are three brightly dressed women sat around a table, and one gentleman on his own sat in like a booth with his feet up on a chair.
I'm gonna go talk to the ladies.
Okay. As you approach, hang on, I've just lost their names. Shit. Oh, there they are. Okay. As you approach, one of the women looks up, and she. You alright there, Stu?
I'm fine.
And she kind of looks you up and down,
Swallow my tea.
and she turns and she goes, "Well, what do we have here, sisters? It appears we have guests. Welcome to the Blood on the Wine. On the Vine, even. I can say words."
Well, thank you. I'm just a humble performer, and I take out my dulcimer, and I say, "This rather drab place looks like it could use some entertainment."
While it is true we've not had music here in some time, it's, we try very hard with our tavern. That's a bit rude. I mean, Barovia is a very dull place, but we try.
Oh, my dears, I didn't mean any insult to anything other than the exterior atmosphere of the sky. Let's try to brighten up your lives a little here. You deserve that. And I start playing Chicken in the Corn.
One of the other women, she taps one on the center. She goes, "Sister, come on. Don't be so rude. These are travelers. They must be so tired. Please, please, sit down." And she goes, "How rude of us. My name is Alenka. The rude one is Mirabelle. And my quiet sister is Sovia."
At this point, I want to bust into the tavern because I was still outside. Like,
What was the name of the third sister? Sorry, Susan.
Sovia.
Sorry.
Bust in and go, "What ho, villagers of this foul, ungodly place! The servant of your Lord and Savior has come to rescue you from your eternal night."
Oh dear. Did you bring him?
I look
Yes,
very
the applause.
embarrassed and start playing the music louder.
Usually there's applause to go with that.
Is there really?
Indeed.
Do you pay them?
No, I don't usually have the money to.
And as you all enter, the sister who has not said anything yet, Sovia, just snaps her fingers, and the man behind the bar seems to busy himself gathering some pewter cups and starts pouring out wine.
Oh. Well, at least you have some taste in beverages. I'll take the white, please.
I am so sorry, but we have no white.
And no taste.
Ooh. What a bitch.
I'm sorry, I cannot tell a lie.
That
Yeah,
is
make everyone's life
great.
much easier.
I'm just gonna sort of put my hand over Davin's mouth and smile. I say, please excuse my associate. He's new to traveling and doesn't understand the ways of performers.
I'm 5 times as old as you fool.
All we can hear is
I'm sitting down on one of the tables.
Tell me.
I'm joining you.
Ugly stepsisters. Have you, perchance got an undead problem?
Undead? No. They don't bother the town. And when you said ugly stepsisters, like 2 of them got noticeably pissed. Because these are actually quite pretty women. They obviously take care of their appearance. Their hair is like nicely coiffed. One has it loose and flowing, one has an elaborate braid. And they're very, you can tell they take quite pride in their look. The
There's
other...
only one woman for Devlin, and that's the sun.
Wow, he is quite broken, right?
Mhm.
That's not... You get them. Religious zealots, they're all the same.
I would like the divine sense.
Go ahead. Again, it's very disorienting. Like, this whole place fucking sucks and you hate it. And this is like being super drunk. It's horrible. Everything's dizzy. But you don't detect any undead fiends or the other things.
Celestial.
Celestials, no, not here.
Or hallowed or desecrated ground?
Nope.
We're safe inside this tavern.
Yeah, you're the only. I mean, yeah.
sorry. 1 second.
That's okay.
I'll be right back. Sorry.
Dog's gonna dog.
Mm-hmm.
Never mind.
Woof are gonna woof.
But in the meantime, the gentleman behind the bar, who looks very... Where the sisters look bright and vibrant, this guy looks grey. He has no life to him. He is pallid. He is wearing, like, brown and grey. He walks slumped. His eyes are dull. He walks, like, he breathes with his mouth open, and he just comes forward with a tray, puts it down wordlessly, and then goes back to cleaning the cups.
Thank you.
Yes.
So, tell me, what is it exactly you do in this town?
In this town, we run the tavern. It is ours.
Was there any reason for the change of name?
We thought it was exciting.
Right.
Are you going
Sorry, I just feel very uneasy in this situation.
going to get to the point anytime soon, or should we?
Myself?
Yeah.
I didn't really have a point. I was simply just asking questions.
So we have it on record. He doesn't have a point.
Yeah. That's a self burn. That's.
How
How do I mark that?
My apologies. I wasn't aware I stopped at any.
We are
shortage.
here for a reason.
You see, in order for us to be here, first we need to figure out where here is. So perhaps.
Yeah, wouldn't it be nice to ask people like who know the place, the ones running a tavern, perhaps?
You know, generally, right?
Oh, he's going to
Yes.
explain me a thing.
Taverns such as this, yes, right. With
fine.
people seeming so vigorously relaxed in it, such as these three women here. I'm saying this quite openly in front of them. Does
yeah,
that
and
not
they are listening to every single word that you're saying.
does that not strike you as a little disconcerting, especially since the fact whenever I open my mind to the divine, I feel like I've just been whacked around the head by Kerchak.
Dear,
Mm.
beautiful women are relaxed everywhere.
That's true.
In my
we are.
experience, they're not relaxed around me.
Then
That's the
you
second
might
self
be-
burn. I'm just.
Yeah, it's one of those things. You live in a shitty place, you get used to living in a shitty place. You just get on with it.
Oh, I lived in Waterdeep. No one smiled like these women did in Waterdeep. Unless they had something to hide.
And what are you implying, friend?
I'm implying that everyone who's not me, because I'm a paladin oath-born to never tell a lie and never keep secrets, probably has something to hide, and you look like you have something to hide. I just don't know what.
Well,
Feel
every
free to-
woman has her mysteries.
Oh gosh, and now you sound like you're trying to buy me off.
Please.
Now, before he insults you any further,
I'm not insulting
we
you.
do you feel insulted by what he said so far? At any point, feel free to be honest.
No, he is nothing to me.
See?
That's well. We have come here looking for Irina. Do you know, by any chance, of Irina? Looking for the second name. Ow.
Kolyana.
Kolyana. Do you know of Irina Kolyana?
As you say, Irina Kolyana, the sisters kind of look amongst each other with a look. Then they look at the gentleman that sat in the booth. And they say, I've heard of her.
We are looking for her. We heard she is ill.
Oh, is that what it's called?
Do you seem to
The
know
man in
what
the boot.
the problem is with her?
She is in congress with the devil.
Wonderful.
At that,
on.
the
The devil! Run away!
Devil's at her door.
ah, puppy, puppies, plural. Oh,
Oh,
look at him.
yours are much better behaved than mine. I say to the ladies, I go, oh yes, every town has one of those, haven't they? Why, in the town I come from, I need to think of a name. Mariana Chernovich. Why, we heard she was in league with Satan himself.
Is that
All she did was go around town and insult every woman, and she thought she was the best. Is that what Ariana is like?
As this conversation's happening, the guy that was in the corner is now suddenly on his feet, and he's pointing at the women, and he says, "How dare you say that about my sister?"
Oh. By any chance, are you the burgomaster?
Stop
No,
it.
I am his son.
Oh.
But shut up. And he puts a hand up to you. Says,
All right.
he says, Mirabelle, you know full well she had no control over what happened to her. And Mirabelle is like, I'm just reporting what I heard. Everyone around town knows that Irina is, well, you know. And the other, Sylvia slaps her sister's hand. She goes, Sister, please. Stop. And
You know-
the gentleman is like really fucking angry. Like he's furious.
Good sir. I understand you told me to shut up, but could I ask a question of you?
And he doesn't look at you, he just goes, What?
May I see your sister?
Who? He kind of gets dumbstruck for a minute, forgets he's furious at the sisters, and goes, Who the fuck are you?
I am Davelan. I am a paladin of Lathander, a holy god of light, the morning lord. Does no one know who this is? Does nobody know? Look, listen here. I may be able to help your sister in some way.
Yeah, we'll see. And you can see he's like he's processing something, he's chewing something over. And he looks for the first time you notice him checking like you guys out. He's looking at Kerchak's weaponry, you know, he's looking at everybody. He goes, I want to talk to you. And he points to the group. And then he points to the sisters, he goes, You I want nothing more to do with ever again. And then he storms out.
This is a thing. Like, people telling us they want us for something and then just running away.
It's not really like I've had to have before in my days. Usually people give you information.
Oh, I
The whole time I
agree
was
with
just sat there
Davelan
picking my
that-
tusks.
The
Is
sisters
there
are sat there
stage?
chatting. No, there's no stage. The sisters are sat there chatting amongst themselves, going, "Such a temper on that boy. No good, no good. No wonder he's
I'm going
Ismark
after
the
him.
Lesser.
He's
No
what?
wonder what.
What
Ismark
did you say?
the Lesser. His name is
Oh.
Ismark, and they call him the Lesser.
Well, I
I will
suppose
go
we should-
after him.
Yeah,
should
as you
go
look
talk
out the
to him.
window, because there's a window next to the door, you can just see him pacing in the mud outside. He's like, he's mad.
I'm
Shout
gonna
it out
s-
because angry people are funnier.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
start playing that. I'm gonna start playing that song that I learned from the servant dude.
Okay. And as you start playing that song, the sisters seem to recognize it. They don't say anything, but they're certainly paying attention.
I wink at them.
One of them, Sylvia, smiles a little bit.
Let's see. I'm gonna say. I think this song matches your beauty, Sylvia.
She says, "Well, I'm very flattered, but what do you want?"
I'm just here to perform. Can't you see I'm a traveling performer?
Nobody wants anything for free, especially here. What do you want?
Well, I wouldn't mind some gold. That's the typical payment for performance. You don't seem short on that, are you?
Roll a persuasion check.
Let me check my persuasion here. Is that 10?
10. Okay. She seems impressed by how ballsy that particular maneuver is. You just walked into her tavern, started playing music, and then demanded money for it. I admire your guts. I do. Truly, I do. How about a gold piece for your travel?
1 gold. Are you flush with performers here?
We don't have much use for performers here.
You're right, it is a rather quiet tavern. What if I expanded my services and brought more patrons to you?
I highly doubt you could do that, no matter how skilled you are.
Oh, I've done it at other taverns. Why would this place be any different?
I don't know if you've noticed, but Barovia is a ghost town. There is no one here.
Are you 3 and the brothers? The brother the only left?
No, there are others, but they never leave their homes. They never come visit us at our wonderful establishment. Truly, it offends me.
Well, I would love to do you the service of bringing them in. How could I do that?
I tell you what, if you do bring people here, if you manage to populate our beautiful tavern, then I will pay you, but not until then.
Oh, since you know this area better than I, do they need protection? As you can see, I have my companions with me. I'm happy to offer escort to the citizens of
Barovia.
to the citizens of your town.
No one goes anywhere. An escort would be unwarranted. And, you know, as long as they keep their heads down and are quiet, they have no need of protection.
Oh, so as long as they don't leave and they don't enjoy themselves, they have no need of protection.
Well, the devil takes only what he needs.
And how does your tavern stay in business under these dire circumstances?
Well, adventurers like yourselves, of course. Surely you don't think you're the only ones to have come through here.
I don't think we are, but they seem fairly far between.
Well, they never really last long here. You see, Barovia is cursed.
Oh?
Yes, it's a terrible, awful thing. Many adventurers try, but they all die. And we reap the rewards.
Tell me about this curse of Barovia. Perhaps we can turn it into a play and tell the outside towns of your area.
You'll see soon enough. I don't want to spoil the surprise.
Oh, how very dramatic. A woman after my own heart. I'm gonna play like a rather like upbeat song.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to see if that gets any reaction from her.
You can tell at this point that she's not really that interested in continuing conversation with you.
Yeah.
She's now like, when you start playing, she talks to her sisters, like she's talking over the top of you, being rude. And after a while, she turns to you and says, "I think you better join your friends. It's not good to get separated here."
It's been a true pleasure. I'll go join my friends.
Hope to see you soon. Okay.
I'll leave with her.
Oh, you did not. You just stood there.
No, I didn't go outside yet. I was
okay. All right.
just as I leave, just look back through the door and go, "The dawn comes for all darkness." And close the door.
Inwards, you just hear the sisters go, "Fuck me." So outside Rahal and Kerchak, you see before you a very, very angry young man. He seems to be in his early 20s. He's quite nicely dressed. Not in elaborate colours or anything, but his outfit is tailored. There's leather. He has a very nice shiny buckle on his belt. His hair is nicely done. And he looks clean, unlike the guy behind the bar that you saw earlier. He seems to have a lot more going for him. Not as bright as the sisters, but still looks pretty nice. In fact, here's an image of him.
Well. So what you say is doing just pacing outside?
Yeah, basically, he's waiting for all of you, and muttering to himself and being really mad.
You are Irina's brother.
I am, yes.
We were asked to help your sister, and we would like to.
Asked by who? What?
You have the letter still, or who has the letter?
I have a letter. The
I
second one.
have the other. I have the first letter.
Then I just nudge Kertik to show him the letter.
Yeah. I show the letter that we found on the dead person.
He takes the letter, and he takes a couple of minutes to read it. Give me a second, because I fucking closed the page that I need. God damn it, me. Sorry, 1 second. Doo-doo-doo. Nope. Damn it. I'm so good at this. Okay, so he takes a moment to read the letter and goes, "My father did write this. My father is Kolyan Indirovichs. But where did you find? Oh,
So this is his handwriting.
yeah. You must. What happened to Dalvin?
Is that the...
Yeah, he was the boy. My father sent him with the letter to try and get it out. Save
I'm sorry.
us.
We made it to the woods.
Yeah.
We ended up with a different letter
A what?
in a different handwriting.
What? Where is this letter? Let me see it.
Our
It's still in there.
shiny
with the,
companion in there has
the
it.
Gobi one.
Tell
They'll
me,
be out in a second.
did Dalvin suffer?
It was quick.
He was barely in his 15th year. He didn't deserve that. By this point, I assume Davlan and Chandra would have left the tavern. And he doesn't even say anything. He just goes, "Letter to Davlan." Letter.
Give him the letter.
Give him the letter. Come on.
I take out the letter and hand it to him.
And he reads it, and it instantly goes, "This is not my father's handwriting." And then he gets to "the love of my life, Irina Kolyana," and he scrunches it in his hand, throws it to the ground, goes, "The sick bastard. That was not from my father.
And who was it by?
I have one guess. Come with me, and we'll get out this rain." Okay. Do you follow him?
Yeah.
I go with him, yeah.
Okay, so he leads you through town, through the village even, and down a long street, straight street. And as you're walking down, you can see right at the end there appears to be a larger house that is surrounded by a big gate. But as you walk past one of the houses, you hear the same crying that you heard earlier as you entered the village. But Ismark does not seem to pay attention to this. He's just walking down the street.
Can we tell any direction as to where the crying's come from?
Yeah, you can pretty much pinpoint the house. It's a townhouse on the side, on the left hand side.
Can I shout at Ismark? What? Stop! There's someone in.
He just turns around and goes, "That's just Mad Mary. She cries all the time. Her daughter went missing. It's terribly sad.
It seems that way.
Sadly, it's the cost of living in Barovia."
Okay, then.
I move on.
Okay.
I shuffle on as well.
So he leads you up to a... I'll read you the description because it's pretty rad, and the descriptions in this book are cool. So he leads you down the street to where a weary-looking mansion squats behind a rusting iron fence. The iron gates are twisted and torn. The right gate lies cast aside, where the left swings lazily in the wind. The stuttering squeal and clang of the gate repeats with mindless precision. Weeds choke the grounds and press with menace upon the house itself. Yet, against the walls, the growth has been tramped down to create a path all around the domain. Heavy claw markings have stripped the once beautiful finish off the walls. Great black marks tell of the fires that have assailed the mansion. Not a pane nor a shard of glass stands in any window. All the windows are barred with planks, each one marked with stains of evil omen.
Lovely.
Hmm.
This
You live
yours?
here?
This is my home.
Cozy.
It was once. It was a beautiful mansion. Before him. Before... I'll explain in a minute. And he gestures you through the gate, holds it open because it's broken. And then he strides past you up to the front door, and he raps 3 times very precisely on the wood. You see the door open slightly. You see him lean in. He whispers something before the door shuts again and opens. And he just says, come inside, quick. Get out of the rain.
Follow him.
I go inside, yep.
Okay. So he leads you into the mansion. And the interior of this mansion is well furnished, yet the fixtures show signs of great wear. Noticeable oddities are the boarded up windows and the presence of holy symbols in literally every single room that you can see from this hallway. You look through, you're in the hallway. If you look through to the left hand side, there's an open door and what appears to be a coffin in there, but you can't really make out much further from there. Inside the hallway, there is another person, a woman, younger than Ismark, and she appears to be wearing plate armor. She is very beautiful. She has a shock of long red hair, and she is clutching in her hand a sheathed sword.
Does she look alive, or is she like a statue?
No, she looks alive. And
Okay.
as you enter with Ismark, she goes, Ismark, who are these people? Why have you brought them into our home? And Ismark says, Sister, these are the people that are going to help us. And that one there, and he points at Davilan, seems to be a holy man, so we might be in luck.
Well, I presume Irina?
Indeed.
Not exactly the fleeting damsel I was expecting. I'm glad of that fact.
Yes, well. Maybe once upon a time I would have been, but I don't quite have that luxury anymore.
Tell me, as you two seem to be the first non-shady people that we've come across in this place. Well, today in general, in fact, it seems. Where are we?
At this, they kind of share a look between each other. And you can't quite make out what that look is. But Irina says, she turns to you. You're in Barovia.
Right. Because we're not from Barovia. My guess, we were heading somewhere towards Daggerfall. That's not where this is.
No, it is not. No. Let me guess. You were walking down the road and a large mist appeared. And then you went through the mist and then you were suddenly somewhere else.
It sounds like you've heard this story before.
Oh, we have. You are not the first adventurers we've come across. I doubt you'll be the last either.
And
At the tavern, the women said most adventurers don't survive. Is there no way out of this town?
There's no way out of Barovia. Forgive me, you won't know. Barovia is a country as well as this village. There is no escaping either.
Great.
Well, I think that I'm going to prove you wrong. Everything I've seen of this place since we got here says one thing to me. Evil. And not the sort of backyard evil of a boy throwing a stone through a neighbor's window. The sort of thing that creeps in the shadows, that lingers, sticks to the underbelly of everything around, sinks its teeth into society, and breaks it apart from within. It's all around. From the undead outside the village, the scratch marks all over everywhere. The strange sisters in the tavern, the dead bodies outside, and I apologize if you knew them. The woods dead, the ground hard. This is not a place of life. The sun does not rise here, so I am told. It is my sworn duty of the Founder of the Order of the Gauntlet to end exactly these evils. So, I swear to you now, I will not perish in this quest, and I will not fail in this quest. The sun will rise again on this land, even if I have to drag it from the very depths of darkness myself. It is a pleasure to meet you, Irina, and you too, Ismark.
You see, a faint smile comes across at your words, and she sighs heavily and rubs her neck. Oh, I wish that was true. I truly do. He will enjoy destroying you.
I have no doubt he will enjoy trying.
Okay, can we all stop being very vague? Who's he?
I do agree with Kerchak here.
And don't say him.
Ismaka steps forward and says, we do not say his name for
Well, then write it down.
for that. And he's sort of, you can see him trying to formulate why he's scared of saying this name, of explaining who this person is. And Irina steps forward, puts her hand on him, and says, "Brother." She turns to you, she goes, "His name is Count Strahd von Zarovich. He is a plague on this land. He has chosen me to be his bride. Aren't I lucky?"
Judging from the fate of this land, is he his ruler?
Yes.
How do you feel about ruling this land alone?
I don't want anything. I want to live a quiet life. That's what I want. I
Well
want
then.
a quiet, free life to do with what I will.
I guess you won't be the killer queen in that case. We just have to deal with Strahd.
You don't understand.
I
You can't
understand
deal with him.
fully. I understand fully, and I wish for you to listen to me. You here have been languishing in this for so long that you have forgotten what the taste of hope is. You have forgotten all sensibility. You seem to think that all is lost. Is that true? You are accepting your fates. You understand that, well, we might as well just give up. But still, here you stand before me, wrapped in armor, clutching a sword, holding out in somewhere where holy symbols are scattered about like a child would scatter breadcrumbs for ducks. So, tell me, have you really lost all hope, or do you just hide behind a facade, scared of acting out?
This is cowardice. This is self-interest. This is me not wanting to be his slave. You don't
So-
understand what you are talking about. You speak with honor and all about saving the land. It's not possible. We are cursed with Strahd. He will live eternal. We serve as his playthings. We always have, we always will.
Someone
1,000
seems to
years.
think it's possible. Why would they write letters? Even if that first one...
I have
I
a funny
understand.
feeling
The first
that
letter
first.
was my father, in desperation, trying anything. He died a week later. The second? Oh, she doesn't know about the second. That letter, yeah, so the letter is from her father. And Ismark then speaks up. He says, that second letter, that was him, toying with you. His game has already begun.
Do you know of, perhaps, the spell plague or the time of troubles? Are those things that happened in your land?
No.
Years passed in where we came from. The gods walked on the earth. The world was ending, and it has tried to end many times since. And at that time, everyone thought all hope was lost, that everything would be changed forever. My god has died at least twice. And that's a god, not a man.
While he's talking, I'm gonna be walking around the room, like, looking at the symbols and like embroidering little patches with the symbols.
Okay. There's a lot of sun imagery. There's a couple that look like a moon and stars. It's mainly sun stuff, though, that you can see.
Okay.
As you're actually walking around, you will have seen into the side room in which there is a coffin. And this coffin looks ramshackle and handmade. And inside you see what appears to be the corpse of a elderly gentleman. But he's surrounded by like wilting flowers, as if he's been here for a little bit of time.
I'm gonna say, what's her name? Ilani? Irina. I'm gonna say, Irina, my condolences on your father. Is there a reason he hasn't been buried yet?
Well, no one in the town will help us. We can't take his body up there alone. There's a church at the other end of the village, but we can't get there alone. And since his first visit, the townsfolk have shunned us.
Because you were bitten.
Yes.
Now, where I come from, this is not something I'm familiar with. What does it mean? What you being bitten, what does it mean?
It means he's chosen me. It means that at some point in time, if he gets me again, I will be under his control. I will become like him. I will be a creature, a monster. Something vile, something to be destroyed. His plaything.
By what you were saying not 10 seconds ago, you're already his plaything. And yet still you resist.
As I said, self-interest and cowardice.
Yes. Anyway, I volunteer, and I hope that my compatriots will carry your father's body to the church.
Thank you.
Yeah, putting bodies in the ground isn't something new to me.
Kind of get like a kind of look. Ismark then will step forward and say, well, it's getting late. Let's do this tomorrow in the day. You can stay here for the night. We have spare rooms.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. And as the day, unless there's anything else you want to ask Una and Ismark. Because once they finish talking to you, they pretty much they keep an eye on you, but they leave you to do your own thing, and they do their own thing. Like Irina has her neck bandage, so she'll swap out her bandages. You know, eventually she does get out of the armor, and then they head off to bed and stuff. But as the evening draws in, you take to your beds for your rest. That's where we'll end the session for tonight. Yay! Oh, that was really good. Oh, I love DMing. I forgot how much I love DMing. I've not done it in so long.
Welcome to the
You did
club
it well.
again.
Thanks, guys. So yeah, we did it. First session, Curse of Strahd. Ta-da! Vampires and stuff. Before we sign off, I just want to say a huge thank you to everyone who hit the subscribe button tonight. I'm gonna call out your names because I love you all. So give me a second while it loads. Uh-oh, I broke it.
Susie.
Holy shit, 11.
My lucky number.
I know. So, oh shit, hang on. Blah, 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 blah. So, a huge thanks and so much love to Critical Mole, Bex, Nightwing, Pip, Tron, Kurt, Dan, Stu, Lydia, Stevie. Thank you all so much. Thank you all so much. I love you all so much. You're all the best. And thank you for all your support, for getting me there. I appreciate it so much. I will cry if I carry on talking, so I'm going to stop. But before I do, is there anything that anyone wants to plug before we sign off?
Oh, there's this thing that happens on Mondays, right?
Yeah.
Some people I know
I've heard there's
do
this
that.
D&D
Yeah.
game on Mondays by a bunch of nerds.
Yeah.
I have a comic with Brendan Small coming out soon.
Ooh.
That'll be coming out at San Diego Comic-Con, which I don't know many people can get to, but it'll be available at Albatross Press, and it's called Galacticon.
Very nice.
Nice. And an actual plug, unlike
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
But yeah, as people were vaguely referring to just then, there is of course the game that I DM with 3 of these lovely people as well in it as well on Mondays, Talavia. It's a homebrew game unlike this, which is being wonderfully run by Susie as a not quite from the Book Adventure. Talavia is completely made up out of my deranged head. Join me as I commit more horrible acts of
Matricide.
It's not.
So yeah, tune in Talavia 8 p.m. ish Mondays. And make sure to follow us all on Twitter and keep up to date with our shenanigans and stuff. But for that, I shall say goodnight. And thank you all so much for watching.
Thank you, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.